Now then, welcome back to Utopia³ the Resurrection, the mod pack from the Feed the Beast launcher that brings back the ultimate feel of the pack that we started out on Utopia on. Everything's working well over here. I did the biggest derp a YouTuber can do the other day. I've already recorded an episode, and I thought it was a brilliant episode, but I moved my mic and didn't turn it back on properly. Yes, derpy Nemsun. So I had no mic for the whole episode. I'm sure you've heard YouTubers say this loads of times before. This is the time it happened to me that I'm telling you about. I've just recently moved my computer around. Well, I've got a secondary computer actually. And the secondary computer I just set up, and rather than getting another Blue Yeti for that computer to do some recording on that computer, I moved my Blue Yeti, and when I brought it back down again, it was turned off. I hang my head in shame because I recorded that episode and I made the next stage of Thaumcraft. I'm going to go over the details with you right now, but it's not so much of the crafting as we did before. Akko has been working on Thaumcraft quite a bit to get us materials that we need to make items, such as these Nemgo CEO boots of the Traveller. He's got loads of things set up on his side, and he's been showing it all on his channel, basically getting the best equipment he can. So that we've got protection, haste, feather falling, and repair on some boots of the Traveller, which makes us super speedy, and everyone in Nemgo has got a pair of boots. All sorted out by Akko. Also got a Nemgo CEO blade, which sharpness 5, looting and repair. Pretty epic attack of plus 13 damage there. And gives us a kind of a limited flight, because it's the Sword of the Zephyr. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And on that same theme, I decided that I was going to make my Silverwood wand. So I went through and I processed a load of materials in the alembics to fill up a load of jars and put all the jars around the altar and get all the things I needed in the altar, and I made some of these special shards, balance shards, in order to make all sorts of things, and some Salis Mundus and all that, in order to make myself a Silverwood wand. So I got a Silverwood, Thaumium bossed Silverwood wand. And I would like to have shown you how I made it, but like I say, I lost that footage because the microphone wasn't on at the time. One of the things for the new to Thaumcraft amongst you, there is a cost to making things, and it's a viz cost. And when you put something in here, it tells you the viz cost of things in here. And in order to make the viz cost under 50, so that my Greatwood wand of 50 charge maximum could handle the process, because I think it was like 54, I had to make some Thaumaturgy robes, which gave me a 2% discount, and Thaumaturgy leggings, which gave me another 2% discount, on top of my goggles of revealing, which gave me a 5, so that gave me a 9% discount altogether. And then using the Greatwood wand itself gave me a slight discount as well, I believe. So I was able then to create the wand, the Silverwood wand, which is pretty cool, pretty cool. Also, during the episode, you'll see that I've got a nice little tip on this, and this is a warding tip. So I'm able to ward blocks, right? And this was a gift from Lord Raccoon. I say a gift, it was more a trade. Lord Raccoon needed some shards. He needed entropy shards, I think. Or was it? No, he needed a couple of earth shards and an order shard. And we just hit a motherlode vein of order shards. So we've just had that processing going through the whole auto-processing system that I've got set up. There's still loads more ores being processed down there and coming up through here in the Thaumcraft area, but everything seems to be keeping up with the pulverizers over there that's sending the dust. So we've got a good processing system here still. It's still working very nicely, and as you can see, we've got a lot of loot. Kind of short on the water shards, really, but we haven't really found any ores for those yet. But as they get processed good. We've got a zombie. and I made great pains to make sure that the zombie last episode was absolutely annihilated, and we've got the same again. So I'm going to take some time out, as was mentioned in the comments, to quickly get myself clear of zombie noises in the background. I actually didn't hear the zombie noises in the background for most of the recording, and so I didn't even think about going and killing them myself. But then I realised afterwards, oh look, there's another one coming. I'm going to have to go and sort these out. I'm going to have to just split off and just go head over here. I'm going to level this area off a bit and fence it off a little bit more. Normally we sleep through the nights, and so we get rid of them fairly swiftly. But just now, it's just on the outside of the wall, so it's difficult to keep them shut up and out the way. But anyway, that's like the Thaumcraft update. I created this Thaumium silver wand, and now I'm into the silverwood era of Thaumcraft. This being that it can hold 100 viz allows me to capture nodes and things. But I don't know if I'm planning on capturing a node right now. Not this episode anyway. I did a lot last episode going through different processes and things, but at the end of the day it is all in your Thaumaturgy Thaumcraft book, Thaumonomicon. Another thing to note is that Akko has completed all of the research now. We've got Lord Raccoon, Malitrax, Dave Dude, Akko, Mondef and myself in there sharing knowledge. And I believe that we have completed all of the research. So I can now work on little automation systems like this and set things up to give us things that we need regularly. And also show you bits and pieces of Thaumcraft as I do them. But right now, this is not what I'm planning on doing this episode. I'm going to have a quick sleep and try and make it daytime for everybody. And show you another few things that have happened over the last couple of days. With my head in a block, by the looks of it. Yes, I'm sleeping. It says I sleep. Everybody else will now also sleep. Or at least know that I'm trying to sleep. We have Morpheus installed on the server. It's not part of the actual mod pack. But when there's 4 people online, only 2 people need to sleep. And because they're probably in other Mistcraft ages... I know Akko's working in the water age through the portal there, building the tanker, which I'm not going to go and show this episode because it's in a very unfinished state. It's just literally getting started on the building, so that's good. But we'll be moving into there soon and then getting into applied energistics and things. The beacon. You may be wondering where the beacon came from because that wasn't here last episode. Well, Akko killed a wither. Akko's been doing lots for the company. Akko killed a wither and the first nether star is here. And then we've used the iron from the iron golem farm, and Nicholas has put the blocks together using the compressors that we've got around the company as well to make us a fully fledged full beacon, which has the regeneration and haste effects, which is super cool as well. Another thing that the minion has been doing for us is he made a little ender pouch with a load of little supplies in, just to help us have what we need when we need it. So I've got an extra little chest, extra ender chest pouch there as well. Akko also made this Nemgo satchel, which has got a pair of my steel boots in, thank you very much. But that's got a very large space, because I think he's got this holding enchantment on it, which makes it slightly bigger. So we've got lots and lots of storage space. Everything goes back to my ender chest, so that if I die, I only need to remake the ender chest. And I've got the ender chest hidden around over there, in the roof up there. So I've got it diamonded, I believe. Yeah, I've got this diamonded, so it's only available to me. And so all of my good stuff stays in there and keeps it all nice and safe. Down at the farm, which you would have seen me and Ego do last time in a Nemgo, the pigs have had a little bit of a rework, and I've been testing it out because that side over there has been off for a little while. You see how all of the animals are bouncing around all over the place? Well, that was annoying, right? And on the pigs side of things, the pigs were bouncing around all over the place, and then they would glitch through the blocks somehow. Yeah, that was good. I just fell out. That was not a good plan at all. It's not what I planned to do. Oh, no, I'm stuck. I should be able to get down here. I've tried other things to make this water stream work better as well, but no, nothing. But we do have over 30 stacks of pork already from around here. This is all still working well. It's all still working nicely. We've got everything all set up and working. But we did have a little issue with these slabs put on the inside like this. I believe that some of the bouncing animals were breeding and the babies were bouncing out and appearing on the half a block, appearing inside the half a block and then running off and out into the wild. So we ended up with a load of pigs all around this area. Nicholas put some levers on to turn these harvesters off for a bit, just to stop the breeding process, and I've come along and redone it slightly. I've put the forged microblocks down to the top of the block below instead of on top of the block below, so they're not bouncing around. They're on a flat block, technically, not a half slab type block, right? Whereas these guys over this side are still on a half slab style block, which means that they jump around a little bit because it's half slabs. And I also put the glass all the way around them so we can still see in, which we couldn't do over this side, but then they can't glitch through and out. And I've had it running for a little while, and so far, so good. No glitchy mobs. So it still looks good, and it still works right, but I haven't had it turned on for a little while because we've got 30 stacks of pork already, so we don't really need it on just yet to do any automation. Just leave it turned off for a bit until we start running low and then run it for a bit longer. You might be able to see just over there, we turned the spawn, we turned the spawn, we turned the view distance down on the server. I changed it in the configs to try and limit the amount of chunks that were loaded around players, to try and give us a better server performance. But now, unfortunately, you can't see the full bridge from over here, which is a bit annoying, but I have done a lot more. Thanks to a design that I got sent by a subscriber, Ghost 8919 or something along those lines. Ghost with some numbers on it. So I've sort of followed that sort of principle of the suspension bridge. Let's get it loaded up nicely over here. Come on. Load, load, load. I should warn you that this episode is mostly just talking. Just going to have a chat with you guys about stuff that's going around. Come on, load. Would you? This is the other difficulty, is not having the chunks loading for me because they've been off for so long. So let's load this chunk up here. There we go. Right. Right. So the suspension bridge look. I had these towers in place previously, and I wanted to use those to make the suspension bridge look and feel. So now I'm quite pleased with it. But this particular part of the suspension bridge is the same as the design that Ghost did in a video response for me. And I've also got these like little, well, they're carpenter's barriers, fence posts basically, that are running all the way down here. And I've been testing around what to make them look like using some factory blocks. And I couldn't find a factory block that looked right for me. So I found this, which is iron blocks. Iron blocks chiseled into that sort of, well, iron wire, big iron chain to suspend the top of the bridge with the bottom of the bridge. And there's 5 blocks per row here. So we really need to get the iron golem farm running super efficiently. So one thing that we've done to upgrade, Nicholas put a terrain smasher in to gather loot drops. So this is basically gathering any loot drops that fall down there. So anything like this goes down, it gets sucked up by the terrain smasher, which is kind of like a vacuum hopper in a way, but this terrain smasher does that. And then it's now, I've added these ender chests, so it outputs directly into the ores ready for use ender chest. And I've put some gold spikes down there as well, so that it kills them a bit better and gives us better loot drops, I think. I think that's the idea. Akko suggested using gold spikes, and I think that gives like a looting effect on the whole thing. But I'm quite pleased with the overall look now. Started working these together to bring it all together and putting some track in. You might see that I've got some rail around here. We're going to have to do some railcraft cool stuff. At the minute, we're doing it the simple way of just having the iron golem fall, the terrain smasher scooping up the drops from the spikes and putting it straight into storage, which goes straight over there and puts the iron into a barrel. But we want to do something a little bit more over here. That works. That does the job. But I want rail trains going across the bridge, so I've started laying some tracks out. I haven't got a clear idea of the layout that I want yet, and I know that using railcraft tracks is a little bit more complicated than using vanilla minecarts and tracks, but the principles are all still sort of the same. What I am thinking currently is that this iron golem farm, when an iron golem drops, I want a cart to pick up the iron golem and take it down the bridge, loop around and come back, and then go back in on itself and back down again. So I want to see iron golems coming down this route here, or maybe that other side, I don't know yet, coming down the route and circling round. So we'll have iron golems just sort of riding trains, riding minecarts going round, before they eventually split off and come this way and come into this tower, which will be known as the Iron Keep, this tower over here, and that's where we're going to do the final killing. So at the minute we're doing the final killing at the source, but in the future I want to get the railcraft stuff to bring the iron golems down into the village and we kill them here. It's the same difference really, only it looks a lot cooler, I think, so that's the idea. There's a few other bits and pieces that I've got planned for making this build a bit nicer. It's currently functioning and practical. I'll put some slabs, thank you Ghost for the suggestion, I'll put some slabs to stop the water dripping down from up above. But now it's just a case of making it look pretty. There's no real need for anything else to be actually done to the build. The mechanics of it are all in working order and doing exactly what we need it to do. But I want to make it look cooler. That's also part of the whole Nemgo village build thing. And it does. I think it looks really cool over here. The other things that we've been up to, Nicholas has been doing some special trading, should I say, with the Conglomerate, which is Teddy here, Landstrider, Lord Raccoon, Van Hal, no not Van Hal, Van Hal's on the other team, and two minions, Darnell and I can't remember the other guy's name, I apologise, but he's new, I think. Yes, PC Mean, that's it. I think that's all of you. Those guys have got together to do, is Profound Games in there as well? I think Profound Games is in there as well. They've formed the Conglomerate, and they've all got their own space station Void Age, which is pretty cool looking as well. But they are so advanced with the whole industrial craft, Greg Tech side of things. They've got all the machines they need, and they're processing all the things, and they've rushed the whole Greg Tech industrial craft side of things. Well, we needed a quarry, and the diamond drill was part of making a quarry in this particular pack. We've got steel gears, diamond gears, gold gears, mostly easy to make. Advanced circuits, not too hard to make. Diamond drill, not too hard to make once you've got all of the processes in place to make a quarry. And then we're going to make that into an ender quarry. We've got endothermal pumps, so we're going to have 2 sets of those. Take this quarry and add it into this. So we've got the quarry there and the 2 endothermal pumps there. And that should give us an endothermal quarry, an ender quarry, which is best for the server. So far we've been using turtles, as you know, and everybody's been turtling up the place. And we've found that there's a little bit of lag that's caused by turtles hitting these Greg Tech ores. And just generally constantly processing and working through digging up things. So we've come to the agreement that we're going to try and get for this stage. So the Conglomerate kindly donated the diamond drill to try and make everybody on the server start using more server-friendly quarrying techniques instead of turtle quarries. The turtle quarries have done us good, and now we're going to be moving up to this next thing. We do have the deep dark portal ready to go. We've got... Let's go down to the mines. Let's see, I think it's this way. The minion Nicholas has made a Cobblestone machine down there. Actually, I need to go down to the next level to see it better. He's got the Cobblestone machine. I'm going the wrong way now. This way. They all look the same. All these tunnels look the same. Cobblestone, which is packing everything as well. Look, he's got the Cobblestone down here, which, wow, it's dark down here. Which end result is it's making sextuplet cobblestones, but it's working its way down slowly. See how I get up a bit. It's pretty void fog dark down here. It's done a really good job of setting it all up so it's as friendly to the server as possible. Okay, I missed the lava. That's good. So it's got a series of cobblestone generators and auto packages, which are packing down and pushing the cobble down, packing it into compressed cobble and things like that. So it's a whole extra utilities cobblestone packing machine, all set there with a little chunk loader that he's done from Railcraft as well, just to keep it loaded long enough to get the compressed cobble. And that is good to go down there. So mostly that's the guided tour of what we've been up to at Nemgo. There's not much more that we do around here, really. We've been doing... we've got a QDS set up down here. Nicholas has upgraded all the energy supply to the pipes and things. These things are still processing slowly but surely to crush and double crush and then throw stuff into the pot and do all that. That's all still working nicely. We've got all of this automatic over here, so when something enters into the dump chest, it gets processed. There's a few in here actually that we're not actually processing at all at the minute, but they will get assigned a location eventually. Might move most of this auto processing to the tanker in the water void age. But that's pretty much all I got to show you this episode. We've got lots of these as well. Look, check out how many of these we got. There's all these lily pads of growth, making these grow really quickly. And also, Akko just recently grabbed a load of magical wood from his enchanting setup. He got loads and loads of enchanted books. So he's got the ability to put a load of the ender cores down here to be able to grow these faster as well. But Nicholas is taking care of most of this just to make sure we've always got a good supply of the ender pearls. And at the moment we have 21 stacks of ender pearls, which is pretty good. There we go, that's the last seed. Hey, thank you. Hopefully tomorrow, Wednesday, Ego should be back online and back with me to do some more Nemgo stuff, and we've got some things planned over at the farms over there. I will just quickly go through here to say hi to the tanker, so you can see a quick update on what's going on over here as well. This is quite huge, I have to say. Let's let the chunks load in. Okay, this is one of the cargo holds. One of the cargo holds. Let's fly up. I need to get myself one of those angel wings to get myself creative flight. That'll be much easier to get around here. We've got a cargo bay, which is mostly under the water. There's only like 7 blocks above the water. But Akko's building 6 of these cargo bays. 6 of them. And I think in his next episode, he's going to be showing how he's using the Buildcraft tools of the trade to make it the way it should be. I think he needs to get these sponges and all the wall in a plan in order to just duplicate the whole process over to the next section. And we're going to have 6 of these cargo holds in a tanker. So it's going to be huge. Just look on the map. This is already pretty big. It's going to be that we're going to have like 5 chunks across by 12 chunks long, something like that, of loading, loaded. 5 by 5 chunk loading, 5 by 5 chunk loading next to each other. So it's like a 5 by 10 chunk loading. And each one of these cargo bays is going to have a purpose, like GregTech, auto farms, applied energistics, maybe railcraft, maybe energy production, those kind of things, as all part of this tanker build in the water world. It's going to be very cool. Akko's taking care of the initial build, and then once he's built that, then Lewis, myself, Ego, and Nicholas will be coming in to start building inside places and help to build the final skim and make it look like a big, cool oil tanker. Speaking of which, there's a nice little pocket of oil over there. I couldn't change things like that in this water world. I made the Mistcraft Age to be a water age, which is just one layer of bedrock down the bottom there and just water all the way up to this level 63, I think the water's on, so that we could build our tanker on the water age. But really, I couldn't do anything to stop spawning items like that, like Buildcraft spawning that in. So it's there. We will probably build some sort of oil platform around it and make it look good, even though we probably won't use the oil for much. We're using other power sources. But that is it for this episode. I've got to go now. Thank you very much for watching. Another day in the life on the Utopia³ server. Quick half-hour tour. Thank you, and I will see you in the very next episode, hopefully with Ego doing some Nemgo stuff. See you later, folks, and goodbye.